Welcome back, ScreenRanters. We've missed you. Today we're gonna take a gander at some of the actors that, in part, owe their fame to the Sundance Film Festival, as these actors blew away fans and critics alike with their stunning displays at the event. Rami Malek, Elizabeth Olsen, Brie Larson, Michael B. Jordan, and many more surprising thespians will appear today.
Drinks.
Do I know you? I feel like I've known you.
I feel like I know you too.
Rami Malek is one of the fastest rising stars in Hollywood. His outstanding performance in the Queen biopic Bohemian Rhapsody earned him an Oscar. Beyond that, he's been the star of the Golden Globe-winning TV show Mr. Robot. The future is looking bright for Mr. Malek. All of this acclaim may have been the result of his performance during the Sundance Film Festival in 2013. Malek starred in Short Term 12. It's a much-respected film. It's all about the life in a residential treatment facility. That film launched the careers of other stars too. We'll tell you who they are later. In the future, Malek is going to pop up in the new James Bond film, No Time to Die. Malek also has a connection to a couple of other actors on this list, that being that he appeared in BoJack Horseman as Flip McVicker too. Speaking of other stars to make ripples in the acting world thanks to Short Term 12, we have Lakeith Stanfield. Originally, the film was created as a short film in 2008 by Destin Daniel Cretton. While some of the actors were changed when it was developed into a feature, Stanfield was one of the actors to do both. Since then, Stanfield has portrayed Andre Logan King in Get Out. He played the iconic straw hat wearing character that highlighted that something was really off. He's also been in the Oscar-winning biopic Selma. He's also scheduled to appear in The Photograph alongside Brooklyn Nine-Nine star Chelsea Peretti. On top of that stellar career, he's one of the other actors to voice a character in BoJack Horseman, that being the character of Guy. A lot of Sundance stars seem to be attracted to a role in BoJack. Suspicious. British actor Bel Powley got her career kickstart from The Diary of a Teenage Girl. In this film, a teenage artist in San Francisco during the 1970s has an affair with her mother's boyfriend. She stars alongside Kristen Wiig and True Blood's Alexander Skarsgård. The film was shown during Sundance's 2015 festival. A lot of critics took note of her performance. From there, Powley made a name for herself in The Morning Show, which has Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell in the cast. This Apple-produced program was nominated for 3 Golden Globes. If Powley looks familiar to our UK fans, she was also in the comedy TV show Benidorm as Bianca Dyke. Amy Adams has done alright for herself. Who we kidding? She's one of the best actors around. So far, Adams has been nominated for 6 Oscars during her career. American Hustle, The Fighter, and Vice are some of the films that she's been nominated for. However, her first nomination is why she's on this list today. In 2005, Junebug was released.
Did you ever try out for cheerleading or anything? I tried out, but I didn't make it.
I was born in Japan.
It's a culture shock film about an art dealer meeting her new lower-class in-laws from Southern America. Walking Dead fans will recognize Wilson as the actor behind Herschel Green. Junebug received fantastic praise from critics. It even picked up a couple of major awards at the Sundance Festival. Adams had a lot to live up to after the Junebug reception, and she has met that and then some. Adams has since left a mark in DC's cinematic universe. There she plays Lois Lane. Abigail Breslin captured the hearts of the world during her breakout role. We're of course hyping up her role in Little Miss Sunshine. This film was the talk of 2006 Hollywood. It was nominated in 4 categories at that year's Oscars ceremony. It won in 2 of those categories. Breslin may not have won an Oscar, but she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Since then, she's gone on to star in films such as Zombieland as Little Rock and the rom-com Definitely Maybe with Ryan Reynolds. Breslin has also carved out a role in the Golden Globe-nominated TV program Scream Queens. Breslin is only 23 years old at the moment. She's had a great career and will continue to do so for many, many years. Hugh Grant is an iconic British actor. He's been parodied so many times in pop culture.
This is terribly awkward, but
Well, before his likeness was used in shows like Family Guy, Grant was making his name in romantic comedies. The one that started it all was 4 Weddings and a Funeral in 1994. This Oscar-nominated film also made its debut at the Sundance Film Festival. Grant's performance earned him a Golden Globe. Since then, he's been nominated for a further 4 Golden Globes. After 4 Weddings, Grant would be the go-to star for rom-coms. About a Boy, Notting Hill, Love Actually, and many more brought the actor on board. In recent years, Grant has moved away from the typecasting that forged his career, such as a role in Guy Ritchie's moving picture The Gentleman. In 2015, Tatiana Maslany made an appearance in BoJack Horseman as Mia McKibben. Once again, BoJack seems to be challenging the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon concept, but before then, the Canadian actor would make her name in the 2009 film Grown Up Movie Star. The story involves a 13-year-old having to look after her father when her mother runs off to become a film star. After making a name for herself, Maslany would dip her fingers into an abundance of projects. Many of the actors on this list have jumped into superhero films at some point, something that Maslany has done too. She lent her voice to the Captain Canuck TV show as the character Redcoat. Maslany was cast in a role for the TV show Orphan Black, a role that gave her a nomination for Best Performance of an Actress at that year's Golden Globes. In 2009, Carey Mulligan was living the dream. Her breakout role in An Education had provided her with an Oscar nomination for leading actress. An Education is a story set in London, England during the 1960s. Mulligan plays a teenager that meets a playboy who's twice her age. From there, she would go on to be cast in the sci-fi film Never Let Me Go, alongside Keira Knightley and future Spider-Man Andrew Garfield. The following year, in 2011, she would star in the Golden Globe-nominated Shame with Michael Fassbender. Mulligan has made a career in appearing in much-loved indie films. In 2020, she'll be in Promising Young Woman along with Bo Burnham. 2014's Whiplash was a big winner at the 2015 Oscar Awards after its showing at Sundance. It was the film that catapulted Miles Teller into the world of acting. The year prior, Teller starred in The Spectacular Now with Marvel icon Brie Larson. Due to his Whiplash fame, Teller would be cast in the reboot of The Fantastic Four. Another of the film's actors might be in the video too. While the reboot was panned, it did help boost Teller's profile further. From there, he appeared in the Golden Globe-nominated film War Dogs with Jonah Hill. The Metascore for Winter's Bone is pretty great, in part thanks to its showing at Sundance. The film would amass so much attention, so much so that it was nominated for 4 Oscars, one of which would highlight the talents of Jennifer Lawrence. After that amazing press, Lawrence would be cast as Mystique in the rebooted X-Men franchise in 2011. The following year, she would lead a whole franchise as Katniss Everdeen in The Hunger Games.
I volunteer as tribute.
Then, the year after that, she won the Oscar for The Silver Linings Playbook. In the space of 3 years, Lawrence went from a relatively unknown actor to winning an Oscar and becoming hugely in demand. She was later nominated for an Oscar for her performance in 2015's Joy. Quick tangent, if you haven't already, please subscribe to us and click that little bell. Then you'll be notified whenever we release new content. It's nifty for you. Plus, it tells YouTube that you like what we do. We'd appreciate it. If you're on mobile, go to your settings to make sure notifications are turned on. In 2013, Quvenzhané Wallis became the youngest ever nominee for the Oscars for her leading role in 2012's Beasts of the Southern Wild. She was only 9 years old. Even taking her age out of consideration, her performance was outstanding. The Sundance Festival was the place that gave Beasts of the Southern Wild its leg up in Hollywood. The film was nominated for 4 Oscars altogether. Wallis wasn't a one-hit wonder though. She would also appear in Steve McQueen's 12 Years a Slave in 2013. In 2014, Wallis found herself in the awards season again. This time, she was nominated for a Golden Globe due to her role in the adaptation of Annie. In 2003, Evan Rachel Wood would star in a film that would get the film world chinwagging, all thanks to its showing at the Sundance Film Festival. Her film was 13. It's all about a troubled teen and her relationship with her mom. 13 was nominated for an Oscar at the following year's awards season. While the nomination was due to Wood's co-star Holly Hunter, the young Wood was the one to watch out for. Wood received a Golden Globe nomination due to her performance in 13. Later on, she would star alongside Mickey Rourke in the Oscar-nominated flick The Wrestler. The American actor has made a name for herself in later years as a TV standout. She's been nominated for Golden Globes due to her roles in Mildred Pierce and Westworld. Tessa Thompson is one of the best parts of Marvel's cinematic universe.
He's mine.
There, she performs the role of Valkyrie. But if we go back to 2014, it could have been different. That year, the film Dear White People was showcased at the Sundance Festival. The film received a resounding reaction from film critics. So much so that Netflix created a TV series that adapted many elements from the original film. From her success in Dear White People, Thompson would appear in Creed alongside Michael B. Jordan. She's also appeared in Men in Black, Westworld, and the remake Lady and the Tramp, among others. The US National is also another example of the 6 degrees of BoJack theory in this video, as she was given the role of Tanisha. Thompson is expected to help carry Marvel into their next phase after Endgame. With Thompson involved, it should be a pretty great Phase 4. In 2017, Jordan Peele's directorial debut Get Out was one of the best films to be released. It would even win an Oscar and be nominated for another 3. One of the actors nominated was Daniel Kaluuya. He played the role of a young black man meeting his white girlfriend's family. As the film goes on, there's something very uncomfortable going on. Before this Sundance-related success, Kaluuya was not as well known, but once Get Out hit the cinemas, he was in demand. Like our previous entry, Kaluuya would end up in Marvel. He appeared as W'Kabi in the multi-Oscar-winning Black Panther. Beyond that, Kaluuya has starred in Widows, a BAFTA-nominated epic. 2018, Bo Burnham's film debut as a director and writer was released. 8th Grade is a story about an introverted teenager trying to deal with her last week of 8th grade. In the title role was Elsie Fisher. The film was a hit with both fans and critics. It went on to be nominated for a Golden Globe. That nomination was for Elsie Fisher's fantastic performance. Before this achievement, Fisher's voice might have sounded familiar to some. Fisher is one of the main performers in the Despicable Me franchise. There, she plays the role of Agnes.
Will you play with us?
No.
She's also used her voice in The Addams Family as Parker. Fisher is only 16 years old at the moment. Marvel seem to have a habit of hoarding a lot of fast-rising stars. This time, it's the turn of Elizabeth Olsen. In 2011, Martha Macy May Marlene was released at Sundance. Before this, Olsen was in a very little amount of films, only appearing in Full House with her sisters Mary-Kate and Ashley. This well-received flick started the journey to put Olsen's sisters in her shadow. From there, she was cast as Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. She's even going to be the star in the upcoming Disney Plus show WandaVision. Beyond Marvel, Olsen was also involved in the Godzilla remake in 2014. Anya Taylor-Joy will be on the silver screen in New Mutants. This much-delayed X-Men spin-off will have Taylor-Joy in the role of Magic. Before this, Taylor-Joy had a taste of acting success in another scary film. In 2015, Robert Eggers' The Witch was released. It's all about a New England family in the 1630s dealing with witchcraft. The frightening film genre can often be looked down upon by critics, but they didn't do that with The Witch. Instead, it got a great critical reception. From there, Taylor-Joy also appeared in Split with X-Men actor James McAvoy. Later on, she would appear in another M. Night Shyamalan film, Glass. Taylor-Joy also has a future TV project, The Queen's Gambit. Michael B. Jordan is one of the most sought-after actors. He's been Johnny Storm in The Fantastic Four, Eric Killmonger in Black Panther, and if rumors are correct, the next Superman. That's a lot of superhero antics for one guy. But before all this, there's one Sundance film that lit up his name in the acting world. In 2013, Fruitvale Station was released. This film was hugely successful with critics. It would also launch the working relationship between Jordan and director Ryan Coogler. Every film Coogler has directed since Fruitvale, Jordan has been involved. Jordan is even in some of the films that haven't been released yet. On top of Jordan's Marvel success, he's also the star in the Creed franchise. In 2018, he won an Emmy for his role in the TV movie Fahrenheit 451, which is pretty hot. Due to her performance in The Theory of Everything, Felicity Jones is an Oscar-nominated actor. Yet if we go back a tad, this isn't her breakout role. Instead, that comes in the form of 2011's Like Crazy. The Sundance Showcase stars Jennifer Lawrence and the late Anton Yelchin. It involves a British woman falling for an American man while in the US. Only she's blocked from entering the US after she overstays on her visa. Like Crazy won the Sundance Grand Jury Prize for the dramatic. Jones won the Special Jury Prize due to her performance. While the fans and critic ratings weren't outstanding, it drew enough celebration to launch Jones's career. She took on the role as Felicia in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, yet she's better known for her role as Jyn Erso in the Star Wars spin-off Rogue One. Her career isn't slowing down either. Jones is down to star in George Clooney's upcoming movie, Good Morning Midnight. Brie Larson is everywhere. If she's not winning an Oscar, she can be found beating up some baddies as Captain Marvel in the MCU. In case you were wondering, the role she won an Oscar for was due to her performance in 2015's Room, not to be confused with the infamous Tommy Wiseau 2003 film, The Room.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Anyway, one of the other breakout stars of 2013's Short-Term 12 was Larson. While she had been around for a while before, this film gave her the boost needed. She went on to star in Kong Skull Island in 2014 along with a future familiar face. She would even try her hand at directing and acting in 2017's Unicorn Store. Now that she has an important Marvel role, it takes up a lot of her time, but still, she popped up in 2019's Just Mercy with Michael B. Jordan. The MCU is in good hands with Larson's proven thespian skills. And that's a wrap. The Sundance Film Festival has birthed so many impressive actors, especially the film's short term 12. Which of these entries surprised you the most? Should we do another list with a different festival? Plop your comments down below. And if you haven't already, please give us a like. Our YouTube overlords look favorably on this action. That and sharing it on social media. We really appreciate it. Finally, thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time. Later, skaters.